Hi everybody, welcome to The Hype, where the minds collide and ideas amplified. Today we're gonna focus on the Louvre robbery. So I'm your breaking news editor Qiu Yuan, and where we're gonna talking things inside the story and lighting up the feeds. So today we're gonna recap the incident where the Louvre happened, which is the biggest hype for the past weekend. So on morning Sunday, about 9:30, couples of masked men, when they break into the Louvre Museum, when the museum just opened to the visitor, they climbed up the ladder, they smashed up their way through the window and got into the first floor of the Apollo Gallery. Well, they could have wandered down the corridors and found the Mona Lisa. Instead, they stayed in the room, which basically dedicated to the France's royal Jews. Particularly Jews from the Emperor Napoleon and the First, and also his wife. They stole, as far as we know, 8 historical pieces, including tiaras, brooches, necklace, and so on. It's reported that they dropped one big juice as they make their escaping. They went down the ladder and got onto some motorbikes, then sped off. So far, no sign of them. So those Jews are mostly from 90 centuries, where the cultural ministry gave the quickest reply and clarification on the whole incident. So far, what is uncertain is that who exactly executed the whole plan, which seems is a really audacious and really bold incident. And the heist took place in the full daylight in the public museum, where thousands of people already entered the museum at the morning and last there for basically just 7 minutes. The contrast with many historical art thieves that's amplified the shock factor. So as a breaking news editor, what really shocked me is the sheer audacity here. A high-profile museum like the Louvre, which is basically the top museum in the whole world, one of the biggest and also busiest museums in the world. In the broad daylight, targeted at the truck lift, that defies many expectations of the museum security. So now we're gonna go over a video about the current situation of what happens in the Louvre.
When I arrived, the police was trying to open the window, so they are looking for the fingerprints, I think. I'm astonished that there was no people who work for the museum watching, but there was nobody this morning.
Et du coup, je crois qu'ils ont volé tous les bijoux de Napoléon, ils ont volé, il me semble. Et ils ont fait tomber la couronne de, comment ça s'appelle, Eugénie, ouais, ils l'ont fait tomber. Après, ils ont cherché les bijoux et tout ça.
What really is the biggest takeaway of the whole incident is the speed and the brazenness. Basically, those thefts are really bold and audacious, which really shocked the worldwide audience. They took only 7 minutes to take couples of the most precious jewels in the whole museums. And also, we brought out the most digital angle compared to what has happened in 1911, where Mona Lisa was also stolen by a former employee from the Louvre. Well, that one was definitely lower profile, because like that thief hid in the closet overnight for only one painting. But those audacious thieves today, they kept almost 8 most precious like pieces back to the French history. And this incident is also very important in the angle of resonance with the audience. For the live show, you can see people are watching what is happening online and the process that the police is surrounded by the building and they're trying to capture the thief. And what is most shocked me is the boldness of the thief. Like, they hold guns, they hold their weapons, and they even threatened the security and the guards inside the museum. And also, they took 4 to 7 minutes roughly, according to multiple sources. That means they were only in and out before many people there even realized what happened. So this is apparently is not a grab-and-go incident. It is so well-planned and professional, which is implied this is not a random incident. There are a bunch of people behind of this. And compared to the value of the Jews lost, the cultural loss is permanent. We kind of draw the attention that Eugenie, the Empress Eugenie's crown was being left on the way they're trying to escaping. And the Eugenie crown, which used to be sitting steadily in the glass display closet, were now dropping to the ground harshly. So what happens that breaking the Eugenie's crown may also draw a lot of people's attention, like how to recover it, what we're gonna see, are we going to see it in the future? So this is also draw a lot of public attentions. And also the public accessing with security is also a really tricky balance for the museum to deal with in the future, because museums want to be open, want to be welcoming and accessible, but also this has raised the tension, this has raised the tricky problems, like how to safeguard the priceless items and also pieces while still being public. I think this is the most hard part that the Louvre and even other busy museums need to deal with. Well, the government says the authority was already reviewing the security at the vast Paris venue before the incident. Labor unions, they have complained the security staff positions there have been cut in the decades. Also, our correspondent also bring their coverage to the CGTN, and let's see how they bring it to us.
Major police operation underway here in Paris after this brazen theft that authorities say happened just after the Louvre Museum opened at about 9:30 this morning. Now, from what we do understand already, this furniture removal truck, it's a lifter mounted on a truck, was actually parked outside the museum late yesterday. The thieves, between 3 to 4 of them, came back early this morning, went up in the lift, used power tools to smash through a window of one of the most prestigious parts of the museum on the Seine side of the museum, before gaining access, stealing some 9 artifacts and then fleeing. Now, we do understand that a crown has been dropped and recovered by police, who are continuing to investigate this theft. Here's what we heard a little earlier from the Culture Minister, Rashida Dati.
We came immediately, a couple of minutes after we received information of this robbery. To be completely honest, this operation lasted almost 4 minutes. It was very quick. We have to say that these are professionals. Organised crime today targets objects of art, and museums, of course, have become targets, because France, as you know, is a country of heritage, a country with historical objects of heritage with great value.
Now, people here are reacting with shock to the news of this robbery, while those visitors who were inside the Louvre at the time this happened say there was utter chaos. They say they were running around, banging on doors, trying to get out, while on the other side of the doors, police were trying to get in. Now, we can tell you that forensic teams are at the scene, continuing to comb through the evidence, and authorities here are calling this robbery extremely professional. Sarah Coates, CGTN, Paris.
We also see a lot of things spiked after this Sunday drama. So the Louvre then director Pierre Rosenberg word that the museum security was really fragile after a painting by French master Camille Corot was stolen in broad daylight. Same scenario in 1998. Taking over in 2021, this current director, Laurence Descartes, asked the Paris police to conduct a security audit of the museum. Following this audit, recommendations were made a few months ago, said Culture Minister Rashida Dati on Sunday after they raid. Labor union said the museum's security has been undermined by staff reduction in recent years, even as museum attendance were soared. Actually, what happens recently is the French President Macron this year announced a colossal renovation projects estimated to cost up 930 million. It plans to install a new entrance to relieve congestion at the museum's landmark Glass Pirate by 2031, and an exhibition hall dedicated to the Mona Lisa. But they didn't really mention extra protection to the Jews part, which is the Polo Gallery. Well, the Cultural Ministry said on Sunday that security measures would be improved with new generation camera deployed. This is not also spiked the discussion, the fueled up the discussion into the official site. It also boiled people online. Well, couples of our audience online and also people's they filled up the whole discussion about the incident. Well, people say the Louvre thief enrages me. These treasures carry France, Italy, and the Holy Roman Empire. To think they are in hand of thieves, passing through shady dealers, ending up in vote on by some fool who doesn't even know what a Grand Duchy of the 18th was, makes my blood boil. Which is also resonant. Lots of people online saying the irony of the stolen loot is that it had already been stolen from its rightful dynastic honor. Also, people asking about the security. Were they stolen to begin with, and what they have done? Because like couple people just bring mechanical stuff inside the museum. Where's the security check? Where is the guard? Should be surrounded by the building. Also, people saying them being in a vault is the best case scenario. They might be disassembled and melted down by now to smuggle out of the country. People saying that the thief focusing on the Jews because Jews is easily to be cut and resell. Well, the painting like Mona Lisa, they even hardly could like keep it and save it and even got money from it. Also, the stones and precious metals cost very little in today's market. Extremely easy for a French jeweler house to make modern replicas. But the sentimental and historical value are priceless to the French people and the rest of the world. Very sorry to hear this happen today. Well, at the same time, it reminds us the famous like Mona Lisa thief last time. This boldness, this audacious actions really makes the whole global audience rage. Well, people also saying shows a big map of the Louvre where it shows the Mona Lisa is in the middle of it and the gallery of the Polo is at the left of it. So those thieves are targeted specifically for the gallery of Apollo, where the 19th century's rules are basically at. People are saying, I bet this will be made into a film in the future, and also saying this is a legendary stealing. Well, those are two more items, including Eugenie, the crown that I mentioned before, were found near the scene, apparently having been dropped during the escape. Well, the authorities are examining them for the damage and the possibility of recovering. Well, also people like the officials describe the stolen jewels as really priceless and of the immeasurable heritage value. So what is really important and also is really shocked me is because of this audacity and short time and also the long-term impact on the French or even the global cultural heritage industry. I think they also need to learn a lesson from the whole heritage, from the whole incident, that they need to improve their security and also need to reply people's rage, because this incident is just really phenomenal. And okay, and thanks for joining our today's live show. And I'm Qiu Yuan, really happy to sharing some news and shocking incidents with everybody here, and love to share those bold news stories in an editor's angle. So conversation is definitely not stop here. Welcome to our discussion online on our social media, and also share your thought about the Louvre robbery or other phenomenal news incidents with us. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks.
Est-ce qu'il vaut mieux que je